Chemical tests for chloride. Chlorides are salts of chlorine gas containing the chloride ion. The chloride ion is formed when the element chlorine gains an electron. The most commonly known chloride salt is sodium chloride, which is used to preserve food. Another important example of chloride is calcium chloride, used as a desiccant in laboratory desiccators to maintain a dry environment. Our aim here is to test the presence of chloride ion in a given salt. Let's look at the preliminary tests of chloride. The preliminary tests are dry heating test, potassium permanganate test, concentrated sulfuric acid test. Dry heating test. Materials required: original salt, ammonia, test tube holder, glass rod, and Bunsen burner. Procedure: take a small quantity of the salt in a test tube and heat it over the Bunsen burner. Colorless hydrogen chloride gas with pungent smell is evolved. Dip the glass rod in the ammonia solution and bring it over the mouth of the test tube. Hydrogen chloride reacts with ammonia to form white fumes of ammonium chloride. Potassium permanganate test. Materials required: original salt, dilute sulfuric acid, potassium permanganate solution, test tube holder, droppers, and Bunsen burner. Procedure: take a small amount of the salt in the test tube. To this, add a small volume of dilute sulfuric acid using a dropper. Boil the contents over the Bunsen burner to boil off any gas evolved. To this, add little more dilute sulfuric acid. Then add potassium permanganate solution drop-wise using another dropper. Potassium permanganate decolorized due to the formation of colorless manganese sulfate along with chlorine gas is liberated. Concentrated sulfuric acid test. Materials required: original salt, concentrated sulfuric acid, ammonia solution, test tube, dropper, and a glass rod. Procedure: take a small amount of the salt in a test tube. To this, add a small volume of concentrated sulfuric acid using a dropper. Chloride reacts with sulfuric acid to form colorless hydrogen chloride gas with a pungent smell. Dip the glass rod in ammonia solution and bring it over the mouth of the test tube. Hydrogen chloride reacts with ammonia to form white fumes of ammonium chloride. Next, we look at the confirmatory tests of chloride. The confirmatory tests are silver nitrate test, manganese dioxide test, and chromyl chloride test. Silver nitrate test. Materials required: aqueous solution of the salt, silver nitrate solution, dilute nitric acid, test tube holder, droppers, and Bunsen burner. Procedure: take a portion of aqueous solution of the salt in a test tube. To acidify the aqueous solution, add some dilute nitric acid to it using a dropper. Boil the contents for some time over the Bunsen burner and cool. Now add a few drops of silver nitrate solution using another dropper. Chloride reacts with silver nitrate to form a white precipitate of silver chloride. Manganese dioxide test. Materials required: original salt, manganese dioxide, concentrated sulfuric acid, test tube holder, spatula, dropper, and a Bunsen burner. Procedure: take a small quantity of the salt in a test tube. To this, add a small amount of manganese dioxide powder using the spatula. Now add a few drops of concentrated sulfuric acid using the dropper. Heat the contents of the test tube over the Bunsen burner. Chloride reacts with manganese dioxide and concentrated sulfuric acid to evolve a greenish-yellow gas of chlorine. Chromyl chloride test. Materials required: original salt, powdered potassium dichromate, concentrated sulfuric acid, sodium hydroxide solution, dilute acetic acid, lead acetate solution, test tube holder, spatula, glass rod, droppers, and a Bunsen burner. Procedure: take a small quantity of the salt in the test tube. To this, add small amount of powdered potassium dichromate using the spatula. Mix the contents of the test tube with the glass rod. Now, add small volume of concentrated sulfuric acid into the mixture using a dropper. Heat the mixture over the Bunsen burner. Chloride reacts with potassium dichromate and concentrated sulfuric acid to produce red vapors of chromyl chloride. Now, cover the test tube containing the mixture with an empty test tube to collect the red vapors. Then, add a small volume of sodium hydroxide solution to the test tube filled with red vapors using another dropper. Chromyl chloride reacts with sodium hydroxide to form a yellow solution of sodium chromate. To the yellow solution of sodium chromate, add a small volume of dilute acetic acid using a dropper. Then add a few drops of lead acetate solution using another dropper. Sodium chromate reacts with lead acetate in the presence of dilute acetic acid to form a yellow precipitate of lead chromate. Precautions: handle the apparatus and chemicals carefully. Use droppers to take the reagents from the bottles. Wear a lab coat and gloves while performing the experiment.